Hey, and welcome to episode 1 of the Luminance guide, brand new series. So if you watch the leveling guide, it's going to be pretty similar. I'm going to be breaking down these quests in a little more detail so you'll know how to run them. Won't be able to cover the location of every quest giver, dungeon, and turn-in, but there's an ad-free wiki for that in the description. The plan is basically to divide these videos up by tier 8 area, but today we're going to be starting with the first 6 easy legendary quests that if you watch my 180 plus leveling guide you should be familiar with. Just going to be going more in depth here with strategy and bosses. And just to recap, my build for this will be Spec War, Train Void, and no healing or melee D. So if you think your character is at too much of a disadvantage, yeah. Anyway, let's lock in, starting with mouf. So if you notice the dungeon maps here, the paths are symmetrical. You just want to end up in this larger triangle room. Hug the wall to avoid pulling more pengus. Then take out this little ice wall. Work your way through this little room maze, pretty easy if you have dungeon maps. Going to be another ice wall on the other side. Again, hugging walls in the ice wall rooms to pull the fewest penguins. So this next room's floor is covered in this ice that damages you. Jumping can help avoid that. I pull that lever. And this opens the gate up here. Just swing around and sort of use that corner to get as few of them chasing as possible. And then before pulling the boss, you can clear these if you want. You could also log out there if you're quick about it. It drops the aggro. And with pulling tiny, you can make use of this environment, so not all of them are on you at once. There are like 2 that can't get to me. Oh, I wanted to blast there. Forgot how I had it set up. There we go. And damn, I actually gotta watch my health. First quest with this new setup. Loot the head off Tiny, give it to the security door. Come through and talk to mouf, and you got a treasure room as well. And it's slightly faster to surface here and run back to the turn-in than it is to portal recall, which I thought was the case. It just been so long, I just checked it again to be sure. Next, go on Liberation of Uziz. Easy way to remember this dungeon is left, right, middle, so we're taking this left. I want to come around to this ramp up here. Up here at the top there's a lever. You can cycle items with your bracket keys to find. Go ahead and drop down. Head back to this 3-way branch. Remembering left, right, middle as the lever order, we're taking the right path this time. You're going to come to a room with a few platforms and a jump puzzle in it. Hey, you can take your time on these. I'm using a faster set of jumps, but the idea is to get to the top and pull this lever. Drop down, this time take the middle path to open the door to the boss room. Little gap to jump across. For the last lever, hit the one with the blue flame over it, then the boss door will be open. So you're gonna drop down, head back to the middle branch, and this time, you're gonna go right then left from the drop, and this is the path you take to get to the boss if someone else is opening it. When the boss spawns in, I'm going to open with a magic yield. Then I'm going to do cold vuln, imperil, followed by lure blade. Debuffs his weapon for melee defense. In situations where you can item debuff, it's quite a bit stronger than doing creature for the same reasons. And yeah, he's just dead before I can do anything else. That's how it's supposed to go. Jump across. So with the magic yield, my spellcraft is like all the way maxed out. I'm 5 enlightened, I'm in an ad-wise set. I can probably afford to skip it, but I'm gonna go ahead and show those magic yields because it makes everything nice and tidy. A lot of players could afford to use it, especially if you're spec creature. Moving on, we got Purging the Corruption. Wiki recommends this east hall. I'm pretty sure there are a few paths you can take down. We're aiming for this big octagonal room on the dungeon map. I felt the animation break. This is gonna hurt. All good though. So life phones first, and then I'm gonna hit it with the melee debuff. Talk to the Scare Knight for a second, they'll blink out. If you drop a summon right there, they'll go for it and not you. Then once again, I'm going to open with a Magic Yield. You can go with an Acid Vuln. You can go with Imperil. And then Lure Blade. And he should be just about dead. Yep. You can't kill these other two bosses to open up a treasure room, but most people will just skip it and use that legendary key elsewhere. Moving on to Count Phanor's amulet with flagging at this bar in Kara, you need to talk to Grular on the top floor up here. Or you can just jump in his radius and press like R to talk to him, and that works too. So Graveyard Recall, if you don't have that yet, it'd be a good thing to work toward. So when you exit the Graveyard bunker, head north and it's going to be the first bunker on your right. So Count Phanor's amulet is one where I know a lot of people are doing it wrong and it's not their fault, but you want to take a right here and that changes life for you. So yeah, the wiki is lying to you. It tells you to hug the left wall, and if you do that, the dungeon's like way longer. So take a right here and you're almost to the end of this path. Talk to Grulari, opens the door. So you can kill the enemies that are on you if you want to, because there's like a mini boss here, Spirit of Protection. Just trying to test Pierce Soulbound against him, and it's not great. You want to go slash Soulbound and fire summons. Then moving forward, you'll find Grular again. You can talk to him for like the lore bit, but you don't have to. Just use the key. Then Count Phainor being a skeleton boss. We're gonna Vuln for Acid. I think almost every skeleton type mob in the game is weakest to Acid. As far as the summon type at least. Bludge for weapons. And then Lure Blade. And Lure Blade is so effective because it drops a lot of mobs' weapon mod to negative 20%. Yeah, and if you're low level, you can pull them around the corner with maybe just 1 or 2 wisps. You should go down pretty quickly here. Alright, so fun fact, the reason I cast a Heal Self 1, I was about to cast a War Spell, but then I remembered I don't have an Acid Caster or like a Bloodrend Scale Slayer. So for whatever reason, if you cast a Void or a War Spell, there's like a really long, like 5 to 7 second timer before you can cast the other type. But what I found is that any other spell type resets that timer, so like Heal Self 1 for the fastest animation. But yeah, that's Count Phainor. Nothing to loot, you just kill the boss and talk to the dude at the end. There's a treasure room here. Then we have Dream Reaver Investigation, probably the hardest of these quote-unquote easy quests. But all these quests could pose a threat to a freshly 200 character, so don't be discouraged if you're having problems with them. Taking the East Hall here, but it's up to you which order you want to do them in. In this room, you're going for the Sim Shifter, same boss as Liberation of Uziz. It's awesome if you can get a summon on him right away, but sometimes you're going to get wrecked by the casting and this hollow right here if you don't have melee D. Oh yeah, pretty sure I would have died if I'd gone ahead with debuffing there, so good call to abort. Got the Cold Vuln up. Gonna get an Imp up, low HP again. This hollow's still on my ass. There's the Lure Blade, and that should do it. Yep. This and the Verendi boss kind of prime Shroud of melee territory, but I'm in Cloaked in Skill for the War Magic. Portal takes you back to the start, so we're gonna take the west path this time. You're just gonna make a left down this ramp. So to play it safe, and you can do the same thing for the sim shifter, would be to pull him into a hallway, but there's this little elemental that you can take out. Then I can target the Verendi Keeper using environment to get him vulned up. Yeah, you can pull him back into the hallway. I just wanted to have some fun. Now you got both keys to open the doors. Looking for this like big rhombus shaped room on the map. Head into this little rectangular hallway. So at a certain point on this wall, the Verendi Sentinel will pull, and you can use the same idea like as Count Phainor. Cool, and I can just let the summon cook for a second. Back at the Luminance flag spot in Frozen Valley, which assuming you've been here, it's the Luminance guide after all. If not, it's all good. You can do these quests at 182. But yeah, here if you're a melee, you can kill him through a wall or drop a summon, lure blade, and there it is. Awesome, so we're going for Gurog creation. It's a quick and easy one. So you can hop on this table, grab a piece of journal, and exit the room quickly. Take the hallway across from you, grab a key out this zombo, and now take the ramp down. Alright, I was thinking I was going to record the faster method, but I'll just tell you this way. Yeah, so log out and back in this corner. And that's our guy, the one that's closest to the wall with the hidden stats. If you want to be fast, you can just rush his position and summon on him without jumping up here and logging out, but that's going to like pull a bunch behind you and be more dangerous too. From here it's really safe. Give the note off him to the scared soldier back here. Then you can get out of here. Alright, so I said it was 6 quests. Nah, it's actually 7. You could be doing Lost Lore, which you can get here from either Ithank Recall or Wedding Planner if you don't have that. So you're going to pick up 3 Torn Parchment. One's right at the start. Work your way through the dungeon to this middle room. Keep north. Then left. Looks like I showed up just after someone cleared it, but magic healed, fire vuln, imp, and lure blade, and they should be pretty much good to go. Cool, and before we wrap up, I'm going to run gear xbow quickly just to show you where to find it. In the meantime, I can talk about some other endgame checklist items. So there's 2 kind of ramps sticking out in this mountain. This one on the right, you can climb pretty much straight ahead of you. A little bit to the right into this valley. Alright, so actually starting at 180 if you can and progressing throughout the endgame, one thing I do is prioritize getting Master and Society. That's going to unlock an extra Oggem for you, as with getting 10 Colo wins and Demos flagging. And Colos run pretty often on Levistras, I think. There's a lot of flagging to do in the endgame, as well as Slayers and weapons you'll want. So one thing I would avoid is doing any more of the quests like Crystal Mines, Shadow Stones that don't give Luminance and strictly give XP. I just think they're a waste of your time. I think there's better stuff you could be doing. Because you probably need gear, it makes sense to prioritize legendary keys, but if you're struggling with those legendary quests, there's ones like Gear Expo that I'm doing now, Protecting Picketed Pets, there's still good loom. There's Amelia's Toys in the Graveyard, which gives you Luminance plus an alt currency coin, which is really nice. And if you want to do a major side quest, you could end up at Prodigal Illusion, which can get you Luminance plus Chorazite for dispels, which is really nice, but yeah, that's quite an adventure. So yeah, besides your Oggs, I would say the most important things to you right now probably are legendary keys, then Luminance. Steel Tinkering Armor, your head, feet, and hands especially can make a big difference since those are weak points, they don't get extra coverage from your clothes. In general, I think AC is a game that rewards you for exploring and trying things early. Gear just isn't as big of a deal as people imagine either. In the last league, I enlightened while soloing all of the hardest content in the game, and not even having a complete legendary suit for a lot of it, still having a few epics. Never tinkered my armor until like the very end of the league as well. Only quest weapons, and I think it took like a month and 15 days total to enlighten, so definitely was not struggling by like any metric. A lot of people really love the numbers aspect, that's what they get out of AC, and I get that, but you can probably do more with less than you think you can, and hopefully that's been the message from my YouTube channel and these guides where I'm playing without melee D and whatnot. But anyway, we made it with no deaths this round. New episodes coming soon. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you on the next episode.